Welcome back to These Things Are Written. So glad that you're joining us on this Monday morning as we can continue our study of Acts, looking at the 16th chapter. This is Paul and Barnabas's mission journey, Paul's second mission journey as we come to know it. And remember that they were going to visit the places where Paul had visited earlier, but there was a dispute between Paul and Barnabas. They split up, and Paul now has Silas as his mission traveling partner. We begin with verse 1. Paul came also to Derbe and to Lystra. A disciple was there named Timothy, the son of a Jewish woman who was a believer, but his father was a Greek. He was well spoken of by the brothers at Lystra and Iconium. Paul wanted Timothy to accompany him, and he took him and circumcised him because of the Jews who were in those places, for they all knew that his father was a Greek. As they went on their way through the cities, they delivered to them for observance the decision that had been reached by the apostles and elders who were in Jerusalem. So the churches were strengthened in their faith, and they increased in numbers daily. As they went through the region of Phrygia and Galatia, having been forbidden by the Spirit to speak the word in Asia, and when they came to Mysia, they attempted to go into Bithynia, but the Spirit of Jesus did not allow them. So passing by Mysia, they went down to Troas. And a vision appeared to Paul in the night. A man of Macedonia was standing there, urging him and saying, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." And when Paul had seen the vision, immediately we sought to go on to Macedonia, concluding that God had called us to preach the gospel to them. This is the word of the Lord. So Paul and Silas are revisiting the churches that Paul had visited earlier. They are taking a different route. Instead of going from the sea as they did on their first journey from Cyprus and then going up through Pamphylia and Iconium and those, they came overland through Tarsus, where Saul was from, and then up over the mountains to Derbe, and then to Lystra and on and such. Reverse order as the first time, and that is why. They met Timothy there. Timothy was a young convert to Christianity. His mother was a believing Jew, a Jew who most likely had converted on their first mission journey. Maybe Timothy was there as well when he and heard the word and believed. His father was a Greek, and it says that Timothy was well spoken of by the people not only of Lystra but also at Iconium. He was uncircumcised. His father, being a Greek, meant that Timothy, was uncircumcised as well. And Paul had him be circumcised. Why, you might ask? After all, they had just gone through this whole discussion of, was it necessary for a Jew to be baptized, a Gentile to be baptized? A Gentile to be circumcised before he could be baptized, before he could become a Christian. Paul had argued that circumcision was not necessary, so why would he have Timothy be circumcised here? After all, Paul had also most likely written to these churches in Galatia and in this area, the book of Galatians, speaking down the Judaizers, those who demanded circumcision. So why is he doing this now? Well, in order that Timothy might not be a hindrance to others, so that Paul's ministry Paul's and Timothy's ministry might be able to move forward not only among the Gentiles, but also among the Jews, so that there would be no one who could look down upon them. He gave the churches the letter from the church in Jerusalem, and notice their response to his encouragement, to his words, to that letter. The churches were strengthened in their faith. They increased in the numbers daily. Notice that increasing in numbers does not happen unless they are not being strengthened in the faith. It's important for us as a congregation to be strengthened in our faith in order that we might reach out to those around us so that they will know who we believe and what we believe and what we teach. Verses 6 through 8, we see the Spirit at work. The Spirit is prohibiting them from being in one place or another, moving them farther to the west, and not allowing them to preach. Now, we don't know what the Spirit was doing, how it was working, whether it was through visions that they were having. Maybe it was that gut feeling that said, no, we better not preach in this place. Maybe there were physical obstacles. Maybe there were people there that would not allow them to preach in the synagogues and other places. We don't know, but they recognized it being from God. They ended up in Troas, which is really on the western part of modern-day Turkey, a port city close to a port city there. And it was there where Paul had a vision of a man from Macedonia saying, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." In verse 10, there's an important thing. You notice that when Paul had seen this vision, immediately we sought to go on into Macedonia. Before, the narrative was third person, they, he, things like that. Now, suddenly, it is we. Many people take this to be that in a vision, Paul saw a man saying that. And then the next day, Luke came and asked him to be that man, actually, in a fulfillment of that vision, to say, come to Macedonia. We don't know for sure, but we do know that God was at work. God was at work in an amazing way to bring the word of God to the people of Macedonia, of modern day Greece. And tomorrow when we look at that, we'll see how he works wonderful things through good times and also through struggles that they would have. Go in peace. We'll see you again tomorrow.